Race number 5 at Ascot. It's Australia. Race number 11 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 1,600 metres and a really good field in front of us here. The likes of Black Goomer ran very well last start over the 1,600 metres as well, just losing by 3 lengths to Stocks. Cerise has been in good form. Highly Secret and Cosmic Storm racing well, and Little Shadow, I think, in career best form as well. So it is certainly a very good race on paper. The replay that we're going to take a look at, the Cerise and White runners really start to dominate the middle of the program. We're going to take a look at Cosmic Storm. A very good performance last start. Let's take a look at that run now.
The hills 4 deep, followed by Hobart Jones and King of the Palace to the outside. I'm feeling lucky. Little Shadow getting runs over near the rail. Cerise and Stocks who breezed up to them. 200 left to go. It races to the lead. King of the Palace down the outside with Hobart Jones, Cosmic Storm, but Stocks races clear. It's Stocks drawing away from them in the final part. Goes on to beat Cosmic Storm. Third, give that to Cerise.
She finished behind the in-form Stocks in that race and attacked the line strongly. The biggest issue for this mare in her 2 starts this campaign is that she's been running a race before they've even left the mounting enclosure. She's been acting up a lot inside the enclosure, and then when she gets out, she's been throwing her head, taking off as well. She's certainly been working herself up. If she can just relax and settle a little bit more, I think she is the one to beat in this race. She should enjoy the step up in distance as well. She's 2 from 2 over the 1,600 metres. She's still never won at Ascot, 2 attempts for 2 placings, but she is running sensationally, and no doubt she is the horse to beat in this race. Number 6, Highly Secret, also in the Cerise and White colours, should enjoy the 1,600 metres, has had the 14 and the 1,500 metres this campaign. The step up looks logical, has a nice turn of foot as well. I mentioned Black Goomer at the top, a really good performance at last start behind Stocks. Again, I think at the track and distance, 3 attempts for 2 victories, so loves racing over the 1,600 metres, even though you think that this horse probably wants that 2,000 metres plus, so certainly can't be ignored in this race. Cerise has been running on well. You look at the form lines behind Neverland and Stocks, they're very similar to Little Shadow as well. And I just have Little Shadow in front of Cerise with that late turn of foot and the way that it's been attacking the line. She's been in very good form as well. Let's take a look at the selections. I'm going to be going with number 7, Cosmic Storm. From number 5, Beatoria, which has been racing well. Number 9, Little Shadow, and number 1, Black Goomer. Race number 6, it's Australia. Race number 13 for our Singapore viewers. It's the listed Starstruck Classic over the 1,600 metres for the fillies and mares, and an intriguing race in front of us again. The Cerise and White will have a very good horse in this in Ideal Image, but then you go all the way down the bottom, 50.5 kilos for Blackwood, and we know how well she's been racing as well. The replay that we are going to take a look at though is Ideal Image. It was a very good run first up, finishing second behind Scheidel. Last start attacked the line strongly, was able to win by a length over Cool Trade. We'll take a look at that performance now.
He's come out about 4 horses from the fence to lead. Ideal Image and Vampy Lass running to third. Down the outside, Vital Importance from Dancing Express, Fashion Princess, Keysbrook. Cool Trade showing the persuader as Ideal Image now draws level. Ideal Image, Pike went for the whip as well. Got ahead in front of Cool Trade. All interest in the minors. Ideal Image too good. She's coming away. And Ideal Image won the Jungle. Dawn.
She's racing really well, Ideal Image. Now steps up to the 1,600 metres. It's had 2 attempts at the distance for 1/3, but it's in career best form at the moment, 57.5 kilos as well. She looks very hard to beat. Some of the other runners that should be putting in a good performance here. Number 3, Vital Importance. I was impressed with the run behind Ideal Image at last start. Carries just the 55 kilos here and starting to get out to the distance that this horse really likes. Has had the run over the 12 and the 1,400 metres, so the 16 looks suited, and with a little bit of speed in this race, Vital Importance can run on strongly. Keysbrook has placed second up before and also worked home well behind Ideal Image. Fashion Princess has a very good turn of foot, and you look at the form lines behind Lucky Street, Neverland and also Ideal Image. They look strong enough to play a part here. Again, has that turn of foot late in the race. Number 8, Golbo, is an interesting performer last start. Winner at Bunbury as well. Beat Reflectance. Reflectors came out and ran a really good race at Pinjarra on Sunday as well. So the form lines around that galloper are holding up. Sticky draw from barrier 12 with the 55 kilos. Certainly one that you should have in your quaddie. And number 12, Blackwood, all the way down the bottom here. This is the filly that I'm going to be leaning towards here. 50.5 kilos. Stephen Parham taking the ride. The form lines behind Perfect Reflection are very good. She has won at the distance before, and I think she is the one to beat in this race. I think she can sit close enough, and with that 50.5 kilos, her turn of foot should be too devastating for these runners. Number 12, Blackwood on top for me. From number 1, Ideal Image. Number 3, Vital Importance. And number 5, Fashion Princess. Race number 7 at Ascot. It is Australia. Race number 15 for our Singapore viewers. It's a Group 2 CB Cox Stakes over the 2,100 metres. And again, it is going to be a race where the Cerise and White are dominant in the betting market. Delicacy, Real Love, certainly going to be the 2 favoured runners in this race. Delicacy was brilliant again when she ran behind a Perfect Reflection in the Group 1 Kingston Town Classic. just went down. Peter Hall, very emotional at the end of the race. He will be riding Real Love. William Pike will take the ride of Delicacy. And we're going to take a look at that narrow defeat now.
And now to the outside, Pike releases the brakes and Perfect Reflection goes up, then Dark Musket followed by Belmont Girl. Perfect Reflection though gave them Windburn with 150 to go. She's raced away. Here's Delicacy though coming after her. Delicacy, Perfect Reflection, Delicacy. Don't know.
She's amazing, this mare. She never ceases to disappoint. An amazing performance running on strongly. Just to finish, a nose behind Perfect Reflection. One more stride and she would have got there. She just continues to impress. Of course, we saw how impressive she was last campaign. William Pike takes the ride. The 56 kilos, getting out to a distance now that we know she just loves the 2100 metres. She is going to be very hard to beat. The only horse that I really believe is going to beat her in this race, or could beat her in this race, is number 10, Real Love. Of course, there's won the Perth Cup. Peter Hall takes the ride. 1-from-1 at the distance. I thought the run behind Good Project was well. Last start, just didn't like going forward in that heavy track, and not a lot of the horses that led on that day enjoyed that type of running. They were all running on strongly, so I think she'll be more suited on this occasion as well. Belmont Girl, again, putting a line through the Kingston Town, going to the start before because she just didn't handle that soft track. The Group 1 Railway Stakes, finished third, only 2.5 lengths behind Good Project. I think that she'll run a good race here. She has placed at her only attempt at the distance as well. And I'm still not counting out Blackheart Bart to run a bit of a race. The 59 kilos, I think they'd be a little bit disappointed, obviously, that they didn't get that Group 1 Railway Stakes victory. But if they can get the Cox Stakes victory here in a Group 2, I think their campaign as a whole has been very, very successful for Blackheart Bart. So don't rule him out as well. At barrier 2, the 59 kilos, we know that he can carry the weight. Let's take a look at the selections. I'm going with number 11, Delicacy on top. From number 10, Real Love. Number 9, Belmont Girl. And number 2, Blackheart Bart. Race number 8, it's Australia. Race number 17 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 1500 metres, and we finish in some style here. Some really good runners. The Lights of Cougar Nights, Lunar Eclipse, Dark Alert, Our Finest Moment as well, have all been racing very well. Lunar Eclipse, prior to last start, it only won over the 1100 and 1200 metres. Stepped out over the 1500 metres. Looked as though it was going to be in a little bit of trouble, but the turn of foot was simply brilliant, and we'll take a look at that performance now.
Drive. Lunar Eclipse is still back last, trying to get to the outside. Rodeo Drive at the 250 in front. On the outside, Saker coming after Rodeo Drive, and then bolting the inside, and here's Lunar Eclipse absolutely swallowing them up. Look at Lunar Eclipse, too classy. Raced up to Saker and shot to the front. Rodeo Drive, Indy Pacific late, but a brilliant performance here by Lunar Eclipse.
Really good performance there by Lunar Eclipse. That turn of foot was devastating, and if it can produce a run like that again, he is going to be very hard to beat in this race. Taking a look at some of the other runners, Dark Alert, really impressive victory, 2 starts ago beating Stocks. We know that those form lines are certainly holding up in the recent runs. Number 6, Tiger Red, I think will be suited with the conditions on the day. I think can lead like we saw it when the run was only just beaten a short head by Tales of Summer 2 starts ago, and I think will certainly be the one that they have to chase down the straight. Really suited at the distance as well, has had one attempt for a second. Outside of them, number 9, Our Finest Moment. I think this is the horse to beat. It was beaten by short neck by Tales of Summer, that same run that Tiger Red comes out on a day where the leaders were just winning with ease. It was the only one that ran on strongly. Last start, I don't know if it really appreciated the soft track, but still ran on strongly to finish 4th on that occasion. Barrier 8, the 54.5 kilos, you'll be getting a little bit of an each-way price about Our Finest Moment, and that is the way I am tipping. Number 9, Our Finest Moment on top. From number 3, Lunar Eclipse with that devastating turn of foot. Number 6, Tiger Red, and number 5, Dark Alert. Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of Box Seat, so it's time now to take a look at the best bets. And as I said, I think it is a day that the Cerise and White are going to dominate. The 2 best bets, race 4, number 5, Silver Stream. You won't get much of a price about her, but she is the one to beat her and the best of the day. There's no doubt about that. And race 5 at number 7, Cosmic Storm. As I said, she's been running her races prior to heading out there, but still putting in good performances. I think if she can settle, she is certainly the one to beat in race number 5 as well, number 7, Cosmic Storm. Hope you've enjoyed that edition of Box Seat. I'm Adam McGrath. Make sure you do follow Perth Racing on social media and take a look at the website for all event information, including Perth Cup tickets. Hopefully a couple of winners here. We'll be back again next week with another edition of Box Seat.